Koikimedia ní ọjọ́ karùn-ún nínú oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2024. Mo kí wa pé ṣé àlàáfíà ni mo tún láǹfààní àti rí yín ní gbogbo ìgbàkígbà tí a bá ń wá bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ní gbogbo ìgbàkígbà tí ọba Elédùmarè bá fún wa láyè pé kájọ máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ jómi ọ̀rọ̀ látara ìrètí wa, látara òǹgbẹ, látara pé àsìkò tí a wà yìí àsìkò tó lẹ́gẹ́ gidi ni, látara pé quality education ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lénìí ó ti mẹ́hẹ in tó dẹ̀ fà kò ju àjọṣepọ̀ wa pẹ̀lú ìlú tó ń pè ní Nàìjíríà tí àwọn òyìnbó dá sílẹ̀ ní 1914 amalgamation. Mo máa ń kí gbogbo èyí tí ẹ ti wọlé lọ́tún lọ́sẹ̀ pé ọba Elédùmarè kò ní jẹ́ kí a wára wa tì. Gbogbo ìgbà tí a bá ti ń fohùn síta ẹ̀yin náà ni a máa rí bá. Gbogbo ìgbà tá a bá dẹ̀ ti ń rí yín bá náà gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá ń bára wa sọ lórúkọ Jésù Kristi a máa wọnú ọkàn ara wa. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ìyá lálùbáríkà gbogbo ìgbà ni màmá ní ìyá mi First Bank torí pé ibẹ̀ làwọn ti ṣiṣẹ́ kó tó di pọ̀ ọba Elédùmarè ní kí wọ́n rìtáyà pẹ̀lú àwọn grandchildren wọn. Ọba Elédùmarè a bá ń dúró tì yín o, gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ̀yin àbúrò mi, ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, èmi náà ni o olólùfẹ́ yín tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín gbọ́ sí Koikimedia. Orí education náà la ṣe wà látara iṣẹ́ tí bàbá wa Alànà tí wọ́n gbé lé mi lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ní kí n máa fi bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ fáìlì ẹ̀lẹ́lẹ́ bígbà tí yàn ń lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ ni Ọlọ́run jàre ẹjọ́ the good news path to prosperity in our orílẹ̀-èdè by Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè 95 pages ni ọ̀rọ̀ kì síbẹ̀. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí Daniel Adéyẹmí mo ní good evening and welcome. Mo kí bàbá mi Afọlábí Fọlọ́runṣọ́ Ògúndẹ̀yẹ wọ́n ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ o. Aago kan náà lájọ wà pẹ̀lẹ́yìn tí ẹ ń bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà níbi tá a mọ̀ sí ìkìkì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní south west part of Nigeria. Aago mọ́kànlá ṣé Yorùbá yẹn ṣó lọ díẹ̀, aago mọ́kànlá náà ló ṣẹlù ní ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa níbí. Èmi ti sùn díẹ̀ o, mo ṣẹ̀ jí láìpẹ́ ni. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè, àwọn ni leader wa o nírìn àjò Yorùbá nation. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ leader ló ń bẹ ní Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń ṣe àdarí fún ọmọ Yorùbá. A ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ different ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi nǹkan dáadáa sílẹ̀ Yorùbá, àmọ́ lórí Yorùbá self-determination táwa ń campaign lé lórí kò ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kankan, kò ní any attachment, kò ní any string, kò ní nǹkan kan tó link mọ́ APC, PDP, àwọn ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́, àwọn ẹgbẹ́ olè, àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn òyìnbó kí wọ́n lè make sure pé education yín ìlú òyìnbó lẹ ti fi wá kà. Ìyẹn náà làwọn náà ṣe ń sáré kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn wá kàwé ní abroad. Tó bá dẹ̀ máa kàwé ní UK o gbọ́dọ̀ ní 40 million naira every year. Tó bá ti lè níyẹn no problem, bá ń bà ṣe. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí bàbá mi olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà pé ọba Elédùmarè tí ó jẹ́ kí a mọ̀ yín ní wákàtí nítorí pé àwọn ò rí Ṣàngó, àbá Odùduwà, àbá Ọya, àbá gbogbo àwọn akọni ọmọ Yorùbá tó ti wá sáyé tó ti lọ, àárí wọn, àbá wọn jẹun. Àmọ́ ní wákàtí a rí arákùnrin kan tó ń pè ní olóyè Dr. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí kábíyèsí ọba ìlú Ìgbòho, bàbá dáadáa, àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n mọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la ran Yorùbá. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ọba Bàrígà, mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo àwọn baálẹ̀ Yorùbá láti bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀, mo kí bàbá wa Àwùjalẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá pé ọba Elédùmarè tí ó fi yín síbi tẹwà. Gbogbo àwọn olóṣèlú tí wọ́n ń tẹ̀yìn rì ara wàhálà táwọn òyìnbó dá sílẹ̀ nìyẹn, nítorí pé kò sí òyìnbó kan tó fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn bá wa ní àṣẹ. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ní kí ni arákùnrin tó kọrin yẹn ó ní àṣẹ gbọ́dọ̀ padà sọ́dọ̀ ọba, àṣẹ ó gbọ́dọ̀ padà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọba wa, torí pé táṣẹ ọba ti padà sọ́dọ̀ ọba wàhálà dé nìyẹn. So ìtorí pé àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn ọba wa kí wọ́n lè ní sè mú kí bàbá mi Bámidélé Àlíò ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe kí ni ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe ń tẹ̀ wá mọ́rẹ̀, nítorí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé táṣẹ bá ti padà sọ́dọ̀ ọba gbogbo nǹkan máa lọ bó ṣe lọ létòlétò. Àwọn ọba máa béèrè pé kí ló dé tí kò sí quality education nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí Àfọlábí Káyọ̀dé, mo kí ìyá tó bí mi náà lọ́mọ pé ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lọ́la lágbára Elédùmarè láti wá yọjú sí yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń wá ní gbogbo ìgbà. Mo wá ń tún kí bàbá mi ọ̀nà oníbodè of Ìgbòho land, ọba Abdulrasheed Adétọ́yọ̀ṣe Aníkúlápó Jayéọlá III. Àwọn ni wọ́n bá wa di ìlú Ìgbòho mú. Gbogbo ìgbàkígbà tí ẹ bá ń bá mi rí kábíyèsí, ẹ bá mi sọ fún wọn pé èmi ọmọ wọn láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà ojú máa tún ríra, tí a máa wá ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ní ìlú Ìgbòho. Torí pé ní ìlú Ìgbòho yẹn wọ́n ní gbogbo ọba aláàfin pátá ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n sọrí wọn kalẹ̀ sí, níbẹ̀ ni wọ́n wà. Torí pé ibi tí a gbọ́dọ̀ wá kékeré ni láti máa promote ni lọ́jọ́ iwájú, tí a máa ní quality education láti fi sọ fáwọn tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ lọ́la pé ìlú Ìgbòho yẹn ó ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó máa mú jáde. Bí a ti ṣe fẹ́ máa tẹ̀ sínú ètò náà depending on bí Ọlọ́run bá ṣe fún wa ní àlàáfíà tá máa fi lè gbé dé ibi tó yẹ kó dé. Gbogbo tá máa sọ̀rọ̀ náà lé lórí kò ju ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation, àdé máa sọ àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan míì. Mo kíyà mi o beauty ọmọ pé àwọn ìyá dáadáa, àwọn ìyá tí wọ́n wọjọ́ ọ̀la pé quality education lẹ Yorùbá, ṣé wọ́n lè mú ọmọ ẹ̀ kúrò ní UK? Àwọn kan á ní ká mú wọn padà lọ́kọ́lọ́ kàwé ní Nàìjíríà. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó jí àwọn yẹn gbé. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà, àfi kí Ọlọ́run kó bá máa fi ìṣọ́ ẹ̀ àti ààbò ẹ̀ kó máa fi ṣọ́ yín. Aláwọ̀ bàbá, mo kí ẹ 51 minutes péré lẹ máa rí lórí mixlr yẹn, àmọ́ títí dìgbà yẹn ẹ máa jẹ ìgbádùn ẹ̀. Òyìnbó ṣe ń mu sìgá àti tíì méjì tó òyìnbó mọ̀ mu náà nìyẹn. Àṣé nígbà tí mo ì dé ìlú òyìnbó, ìyẹn máa ráwọn òyìnbó á máa tọwọ́ bọ jacket, àwọn fashion bẹ̀yẹn máa lágbára. Àṣé tútù ló máa ń múyàn lọ́wọ́ lọ́ ṣe ń tọwọ́ bọ jacket. But ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà nísìnyí, wá rí gbogbo àtà tọwọ́ bọ jacket à ń sáfò òtútù yẹn tó bá mú ọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí á fa gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ mu ni. Máa bọ̀ ní London, máa bọ̀ lamẹ́ríkà, máa bọ̀ ní Canada, kódà máa lọ sí African country, kò síbi tó dàbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn fámìlì mi tó ń bẹ ní Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo ibikíbi tí wọ́n wà, gbowó kò rọ́jú. Gbogbo àwọn kan máa pè wọ́n pé ṣé ọmọ yín ni Kóìkì? Wọn ní ọmọ wa ni. À ń fàdúrà tán, à ń fàdúrà tì í rádà. Ọba Elédùmarè àbá máa fi ìṣọ́ àtàbọ̀ ẹ̀ á máa fi ṣọ́. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìlọrin, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Kogi àti ẹ̀yin ọmọ Èkìtì àti Ọ̀ṣun àti gbogbo ibikíbi tí olúkálùkù wa wá láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọmọ Yorùbá náà ni gbogbo wa. Bí ọba ń gbọ́ bàbá Akíntóyè, bàbá dáadáa, bàbá tó ń wo future, tó rí future tán, tó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń tanra yín Nàìjíríà 7% ní gbogbo budget education wa. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí bàbá mi Taofik. Mo wá kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń bẹ ní gbogbo abà kọ̀ọ̀kan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. A máa ń ní abà, a ní city, a ní gbogbo ẹ̀. A dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan kó tó di pé àwọn òyìnbó dé. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Biafra, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá ń gbọ́ tátà ń sọ, torí pé tá bá ti ń sọ èdè tiwa báyìí kì í gbọ́n tá à ń sọ mọ́. Ẹ̀yin náà la ṣe ń sọ pé ibi tá fi lè kò ní yé yín. Tó bá wá gbọ́ láàrin wọn, ìyẹn jẹ́ pé ó ti gbé láàrin wa bí ó tó jọ́ mẹ́ta. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí àwọn foreigners tó ń gbọ́ mi láti Cuba, láti Australia, wherever you are, mo kí gbogbo yín pé ẹ tún káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Bí a ti ṣe ń tẹ̀síwájú lórí ètò tiwa, gbogbo yín ti mọ̀ pé mo kí ẹ simple Rahim, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa ní gbogbo Fìdípọ̀tẹ̀ ní Rẹ́mọ, ní gbogbo Abẹ́òkúta, mo kí ní gbogbo Ọ̀ṣun. Màá tún máa rántí arákùnrin tí mo pàdé nínú McDonald's. Bí wọn bá rọmọ Yorùbá wà á ti mọ̀ pọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ó já láyẹn báyìí, ìlà yẹn tóbi díẹ̀. Àbí ṣe rí báyìí wọn ní n gbọ́dọ̀ sọ èdè sọmọ yìí. Ẹ káàárọ̀ ń bí o, òun náà dẹ̀ dá mi lóhùn dáadáa. Ọba Elédùmarè bá wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa bí gbogbo wa ṣe ń struggle ní gbogbo ibi tá a bá wà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ nílé náà ń struggle. Jamo 419 brother mi dáadáa mo kí ẹ. Tokyo 778 mo kí ẹ. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ṣánko lọ, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti tẹ̀lé onítìrì, ẹ wá ń wò pé níbo ló fẹ́ já sí, kò sọ́nà ń bẹ́ẹ̀, a ti sọ fún yín. Mo kí ẹ jáyàjáyà. Rahim Yusuf ó ní ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ṣé dáadáa ni mo bá gbogbo, ṣé gbogbo yín ti wọlé àbẹ́ ṣe wà lórí títì? Àwọn kan ṣì wà lọ́nà, àwọn tó ń lọ sọ́nà Ọ̀fọ̀ Ifọ̀, wọn ò lè gbé ní àárín Èkó mọ́ torí owó ilé ti wọ́n, wọn ò lè gbé ní gbogbo Àlímọ̀ṣọ́, Òṣòdì gan ti wọ́n, kò sí ilé ní Mùṣín. Àwọn olówó dẹ̀ ti gbéra wọn lọ sí gbogbo ọ̀nà òkè lọ́hùn. Yẹmí Fátókè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa ò tí ì sùn, ẹ̀bá Elédùmarè bá ń dúró tiẹ̀. Wọ́n máa ní gbogbo gbà, ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn ní Kóìkì tó bá ní o fẹ́ mu kọ́fì, èmi ní náírà tí màá sẹ́ndì sí ẹ, ìwọ ló máa mọ bó ṣe máa wá lò bó bá wọn kò fi ṣe. Ọba Elédùmarè bá ń dúró tì í. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, wàá ṣeré brọ́dà mi Jamo 419. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ṣé ìyá yẹn ṣì ń ta nọ́mbà 35 nọ́mbà 35 ní phase 2 ibẹ̀ máa ti ń rẹwà. No beans kò sẹ́wà. Gbogbo àwọn ìyá tó ti ṣe wàhálà, àwọn ìyá kan lọ sí school but mathematics tó wà lórí wọn ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ Tokyo 74778. Afọlábí Fọlọ́runṣọ́, mo máa ń kí yín ẹ̀gbọ́n mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀yin bàbá dáadáa, kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín. Ẹ̀yin surveyor tó yẹ ká máa kọ́ àwọn building ńláńláńláńlá. Bí wọn bá wo ìlú òyìnbó nígbà míì wọn á pẹ́ báwo ló ṣe kọ́ àwọn building yìí. Surveyor, architect, wà dẹni tẹ́ ń wá kó pé láàrin títì. Àwọn tó yẹ ká máa kọ́ skyscraping àbí ẹ̀ka tààbùn. Yẹ ká máa kọ́ àwọn ilé ńláńláńlá. Ẹni tó jẹ́ engineer ó ń ṣe POS. Ẹni tó jẹ́ ó sì ń ṣe POS. So mo kí gbogbo àwọn akọni ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ti lọ ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation. Mo wá kí àwọn tí wọ́n lọ náà lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation. Torí pé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn akọni ti lọ tó pọ̀. Àwọn akọni tá a lè dárúkọ gbogbo wọn tán, but tá a bá ti dípà débi tá à ń lọ rẹ́kọ̀dì máa wà fẹ́ everybody. Archive ni tó bá ti lọ sórí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì pàkà. Kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà tí kò fún yín ní access sí quality education. Nǹkan pè mí níjọ́ ni mo ní máa fún wọn ní bíi credit. Àkànṣọ́ lórí social media báyìí náà ni àwọn náà wà lórí ètò. Mo á pè wọ́n lẹ́yìn ètò. Màá níbi eléèlò lẹ́ máa ń rà. Mr. Koiki bí ó ní 1000 ní o, ẹ̀wọ̀n káwọ̀ à ń bẹ Ọlọ́run ní o. Wọ́n ti fìyà jẹ wá. Mo wà nínú McDonald's. Nǹkan kan náà ni kò ń ṣe gbogbo wa. Mo lò 2 hours nínú bẹ̀. Even though pé mo ní íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì tèmi, mo tún login sínú wifi tí wọn. 2 hours ni mo ṣe nínú McDonald's. Léèrè ṣe ni o. Ṣùgbọ́n mo purpose tí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ ṣe wà. It allows you to access information. Imagine tó bá jẹ́ pé Glo tó sọ pé wọn ọmọ Yorùbá kókò fáwọn tó wà ní community ẹ̀ ní access to 2 hours internet, kódà kò yọ irun lára ẹ̀. Internet ló cheap jù, data òun ló cheap jù. Ìyẹn làwa ṣe máa ń ní bọ́ndù. Nàìjíríà nìkan lẹ ti máa pa data yín látara pé wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ rí ibi tó ń lọ. Mo kíyà mi Oyèrónkẹ́ Ọláníyàn, adakíyàn máa wọ glasses so that kí doctor ti optician ti ní Koiki put on your glasses, you sit on the screen all the time. Purpose tó ṣe wà fún ní ìyàwó mi wò mí pé ìbálẹ̀ mi ìwọlẹ̀ tún sọ yìí bàbá àwọn ìyá wa kọba Elédùmarè kó bá ń dúró tì. Bàbá Afọlábí ní Koiki ìyà ń jẹ àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà seriously. Bọ́ọ̀ tẹ̀ sọ fún yàn gbogbo àná láàrin kò ṣojú gbogbo alárí pé yà ń jẹ gbogbo wọn pátá. Ẹni tó bá wá níyà ò jẹ òun nínú Nàìjíríà máa dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. ṣége Promax ní Tinubu wà lọ́wọ́ ló fura sí báyìí. Ẹ ṣé gan ìyá mi Oyèrónkẹ́ Ọláníyàn. Níbo ni ká ti mú ọ̀rọ̀ ní alẹ́ yìí? Àìtẹ̀tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ mixela. Mo ń wá orin kí lorúkọ bọ̀bọ́ yẹn ní a máa pàṣẹ fọ́ba mo ti orúkọ yẹn màá béèrè lọ́wọ́ Masbi ló mú orin yẹn dáadáa ó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Níbo ni ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí? There is a lot going on nínú Nàìjíríà. Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Mẹ́wàá tèmi fẹ́ dúró lé lórí lálẹ́ yìí òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ education. No going back ni tẹ́ bá ti ń sùn a máa ta yín lómi jí a máa ta yín. Ẹ lọ wo gbogbo fídíò tí mo ṣe àwọn short videos mi ó kún bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lórí social media. Mo ti dé asda mo rí gàrí. Ẹ jẹ́ ń fi àwọn ẹranko tá à ń sọ fún yín pé a lè continue pẹ̀lú àwọn ará bíi ẹ̀wòrán oko olóko leléyìí ẹ̀wòrán jọ bá ń kọpa náà ẹ̀ briefly ẹ̀wòrán oko olóko ẹ̀ bó ṣe ń jẹ́ kẹrí hàn kàn sí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ìdí ìgbà ẹ lè má rí dáadáa ẹ̀wọ̀n àbẹ̀lú kẹrí hàn oko olóko wọ́n fi màálù ọ̀tọ̀ lẹ́ni tó ní farm ọ̀tọ̀ lẹ́ni tó gbé màálù débẹ̀ tó ń jẹ oko olóko ní 21st century níbi tí ranching ti wà. Ṣé àwọn animal tàbí máa bá gbé lélẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀n ní sí ẹ bá mi tán náà padà ṣẹ́gun níjà wa lọ́bàndọ̀ pẹ̀lú yín. Tàbá dẹ̀ sọ tàbá bọ̀ ọmọ ìwé ìyá mi títí lọ láṣọ mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa. Ẹ má bínú pé lọ́sàn-án ẹlẹ́ǹkankan à ń lè dárúkọ yín nígbà tá a bá ti wà especially ẹmọ tí bá ti wà ní top gear àti máa dárúkọ ó máa mú èèyàn kúrò lórí ibi tí yàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ. Bọ̀ nígbà tá a bá wà relax báyìí tí kò ń ṣe pé mò ń kánjú mo lọ deliver iṣẹ́ fún anybody ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá lèmi ń deliver iṣẹ́ fún. Tọ́ba àwọn kan ní àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ fún Ìgbòho èmi o Ọláyọmí Kóìkì Yorùbá nation ni mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Olóyè Ìgbòho ni mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ni mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Bàbá Akíntóyè ni mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Ọ̀túnba Démọ́lá ni mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún YSDM mo rẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó gbàgbọ́ nínú Yorùbá nation àtàwọn tó náwọn ò gbàgbọ́. Èmi wọn tẹlòmíràn mo kí bàbá mi bí farm wọ́n ní good evening Mr. Koiki, thank you much educating all the time, may Almighty God be with you and protect you. Yorùbá nation no going back. APC ẹgbẹ́ òfò Tinubu ló lọ dá sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Buhari ní CPC ẹlòmíràn tẹ̀ mọ̀ genesis of the APC. APC yẹn Tinubu ìyá mi Sanjo beauty àwọn máa ń ṣerun ni màá máa béèrè pé ṣé wọ́n mú torí pé braids yẹn skills kan ni o gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ ṣẹ́rí ọba Elédùmarè kéèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá débi pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ skills tó olúkálukú ní ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni èyí tèmi ní nísìn tó bá ní kí wọ́n á ṣerun nísìn kọ́ ní kí wọ́n á gẹrun ó máa difficult fún mi. Ìyàwó mi á ní kí n gẹrun ọmọ ó jẹ́ mo lọ kí n fún ẹ ní £10 á ní but mo fún òun ní £10 ní last week màá ní bá máa tọ́jú ẹ̀ tó bá ti pile off kó fún mi ní bíìlì yẹn àwọn ìyá wa bíìlì tó fún mi níjọ́ ní àti wọn ló fún mi ní bíìlì kan mo tẹ̀ mọ́ bí tí mo jù sí rìsíìtì £50 ó sì bí mi pé baálé mi £50 tí mo ní mo fi ra nǹkan lásdà tí dá padà mo ní ẹ bá mi ṣe mọ́ bíìlì àwọn bàbá wa àwọn bá ṣe ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìyàwó wa ṣe mọ́ bíìlì. Sanjo beauty kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ gbogbo bí tọ́mọ Yorùbá ń bẹ pátá títí dé Áfíríkà nǹkan kan ló lé wa kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Àwọn kan tí ń rìnrìn àjò lọ mo kí bàbá mi Sunday wálé and they have not returned back for a very long time. But àwa máa délé a máa délé. Mo gbádùn bàbá Akíntóyè bí adẹ̀ ni màá ti mú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lálẹ́ yìí torí pé mo follow wọn kó tó di pé ohun yẹn gbé mi lọ nígbà tó wà lórí Yorùbá world media town hall meeting tá a máa ń ṣe níjọ́ Wednesday ìgbà yẹn wàhálà kí ni mo jẹ náà ẹ rántí pé program tá a ṣe lọ́sàn-án mo ní ẹyin àgbàlagbà gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ ẹyin méjì mẹ́ta ni nítorí tó bá máa só kí só yẹn lè jáde dáadáa sígbà tó bá àwọn só kan wà tí wọ́n bá wà lórí bọ́ọ̀sì wà á rìn dé wọ́n lẹ̀ ọmọ kan tó bá yẹ pé inú mọ́tò tẹ̀ ló wà air condition akọ́ máa fẹ́ ni wọ́n nìkan ló máa jẹ́ bọ̀ tó bá wà lórí bọ́ọ̀sì tó fẹ́ só wà á rìn dé wọ́n lẹ̀ torí òní fẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé ibẹ̀ ni só yẹn ti ń bọ̀ so tó bá dẹ̀ jókòó sẹ́gbẹ́ èèyàn tí só dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ wà á rìn dín yẹn wọ́n lẹ̀ so that ìsó yẹn lè kọ́kọ́ lọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yìn kó wá látòkè ó yẹ yín mo á gbà tí mo parí program kí ló ń pa Abdulrahim lẹ́rìn bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn só kan wà ìsó tó bá dún pù kò ń rùn ṣùgbọ́n sórí tí kò ń dún pù yẹn lẹ́yìn wọn bá jẹyin bí mẹ́ta tó jẹyin mẹ́ta tó jẹ avocado tó gbé bọ́tà àti búrẹ́dì tó wá tún mu apple juice lé lórí ìsó yẹn máa ní agbára bọ̀ inú ilé mo wà bá tẹ̀ so èmi àti ìyàwó mi lájọ wà nínú ilé akọ máa jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ṣeré àwọn só kan wá bá fẹ́ sọ lórí bọ́ọ̀sì àárín ìdímọ́lẹ̀ ni ọba máa gbà ló máa ka pépà bí èmi báyìí àwa journalist ìsó ni o àwa máa rùn wọn náà womes kí ló ń pa bàbá mi Ọláwálé Ayédọlẹ́rì gbogbo ìrànlẹ́ máa ń so Ayọ̀mí kó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ òun máa ń so níbi iṣẹ́ ó ní silent peaceful lọ́ máa ń pa àwọn yẹn torí tó bá dún pù kò ń rùn wákọ̀ dún pù wákọ̀ sí wọ́n náà kọ́ ni what was that now noise especially àwọn òyìnbó máa ń so wọ́n jẹ̀jẹ̀ kó jẹjọ àwa lọ ìso ẹ má yẹ kí n lọ síbẹ̀ lálẹ́ tó ẹlòmíì wà lórí breakfast báyìí ẹlòmíì ń jẹ lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn silent ìso ṣọ́ra àwọn òyìnbó tó ń rí yẹn àwa máa ń bá wọn tọ́ nígbà tí mo dé McDonald's ìkan yàgbẹ́ mo tètè yá ṣe tèmi máa ṣe mo yá bọ́ bọ́ta ìgbẹ́ wọn rùn ju kí ló dálẹ̀ lọ ẹ má yẹ kí n ba dé yín jẹ́ but reality but sórí wọn nísìnyí wọn rí àwọn òyìnbó yẹn as top notch àwọn ọlọ́kùnrin bàbá wa síbi tá a wà lẹ́nu látara irọ́ tó gbélé wa lọ́wọ́ so mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nígbà tí mo rọ̀ sójáde ní sàwọn èèyàn ẹ̀rín jáde ẹlòmíì àti ṣubú ní ilé ẹ̀ pé kí ni mo sọ Zeno ni this guy is funny yeah I lie you know the shit Fẹlá máa ní bá orin wọn ni Fẹlá kọ tó ní ṣítí àbí kí wàá lóye kọrin yẹn Fẹlá God bless him kí pé olórí ẹbí ẹjẹ àwò bí a máa gẹ́tò olórí ẹbí má dojú tì mí wálé lálẹ́ yìí o àfi tó bá ti sùn bá sùn gbọ́dọ̀ gbé kọlù olórí ẹbí ni ìtàṣẹ́ ń pè olórí ẹbí ò kì í sùn ẹ jẹ́ ká pè olórí ẹbí káwọ́ bí ó ti sùn bó sùn ó yá. mo jẹ́ olórí ẹbí gbọ́dọ̀ gbé olórí ẹbí máa ń gbé kọlù ni olórí ẹbí ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbé kọlù ni bá pè ní 2 o'clock kó wà lórí ìyàwó ó gbọ́dọ̀ because ó gbọ́dọ̀ dá wa ọmọlé kéwú náà a wà lórí ètò olórí ẹbí mo ní orin wo ni Fẹlá kan tó ní ṣítí pápápápá kí lórúkọ orin yẹn. mo sọ pé ìwọ náà máa sọ lẹ́ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan nu mọ́tò wálé àbí ọ̀sẹ̀ rí pé kò parọ́ àwọn òun parọ́ ẹlòmíà ní wọn ò kí ń so ò ṣe ní so inú ẹ ti bu nìyẹn no sùn kọ́ ni mo sọ so ni mo sọ o sùn yá yorùbá mọ wọn pé wọn nísìn wọn máa ń wà ní mọ́tò ara ẹ tó bá so ìwọ nìkan ló máa jẹ bọ́dúrà ń bá so lórí bọ́ọ̀sì báyìí nísìn pé ń bá so lórí bọ́ọ̀sì àwọn èèyàn máa wọ pé who mess o gbọ́dọ̀ so tó bá ti so o gbọ́dọ̀ lọ rí dókítọ̀ o máa lọ rí dókítọ̀ so olórí ẹbí nìyẹn ọ̀jẹ̀ ń fọ olórí ẹbí sílẹ̀ tó bá ti rántí orin yẹn tó lè ẹ̀hún kíyìn ẹ̀hún náà kíyìn so bá ń ké àwọn ọmọ Oòduà lọ́dọ̀ side long òun súnmọ́ airport dáadáa ó níjọ́ kí wàhálà bá ṣẹlẹ̀ òun ló máa kọ́kọ́ board mo nírọ́ ló pa àjọ máa board ni. mo kí gbogbo wa pé iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa forílẹ̀ ibi wa kàgbéga 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 fàlẹ́ ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé láti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan tó mìnira ní kẹjẹ ká máa lépa ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa káàkiri gbogbo ìtẹ́tí ń darapọ̀. Bàbá mi ọmọ káàárọ̀ Friday, it is interactive. One need a song saying shiti shiti international tif tif ITT. Ẹ máa ń ká tó lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lálẹ́ torí àwọn orin kan wà tí Fẹlá kọ, àwọn orin kì í gbò ni. Ṣé mo gbọ́dọ̀ Fẹlá láti mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan wà tó máa ń pè ní veto. Tó o bá tẹ̀ mọ́ United Nations ìgbà ẹ̀ la wá gbọ́ pé tó bá dìbò àṣẹ gbogbo aláṣẹ máa wá witness ẹ̀ ní 21st century. Fẹlá ti jẹ́ ká mọ orin yẹn ti pẹ́ wá vote America dẹ̀ veto ẹ̀ ogun tó dẹ̀ vote fún ó lọ bam. We saw it happening at the United Nations. Ọlákúnlé mo kí ẹ brother mi dáadáa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ àwọn correspondent wa nìyẹn ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Pipa Jason, thank you so much. Fẹlá Aníkúlápó Kútì, it was kò lè máa play orin ẹ because it's YouTube máa yọ náà ni, so sometimes it's not worth it. Fẹlá Aníkúlápó Kútì òun ló jẹ́ ká mọ ìtàn pè ní veto. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo English meaning veto. America took advantage of it. Russia gbogbo wọn pátá at the Security Council. Mo kí bàbá mi Alibaba Rasaki ẹ jẹ́ n try bóyá wọn lè ka Yorùbá yìí. Ẹ pé àwọn ìyá àjẹ́ kí wọ́n fi àṣẹ bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ kí Yorùbá lè dá dúró. O possible, yes. Fela Kuti sang it all as a woman so proud his murdered mom is in this useless Nigeria history. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ parọ́. Fela sang it all as a woman. Ẹ ṣe gan ni ìyá mi Jayéọlá Ọlárìbígbé àwọn orúkọ ńláńlá. The word veto, everybody would have heard it from Fela's music, but we did not know the importance of it. Ara education náà la ṣe ń bá lọ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ start the Twitter space ká lè mú àwọn èèyàn díẹ̀ náà níbẹ̀ gbogbo bí ọ̀nà tá a bá ti rí àwọn èèyàn bá wa mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Ọlákúnlé ní a veto is a legal power to unilaterally stop an official action. Àwọn international community wọ́n fẹ́ stop ìtàn pè ní gbogbo ìkà tí Israel ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. And it doesn't matter where you stand on that issue. I am not saying that intermarriage on the 7th of October is the right thing, but ìjàngbara anywhere ló lè gbéyàn lọ. I am not saying that, but for the fact that 30,000 people have been killed, that is not acceptable. And they are now trying to find a solution at the United Nations Security Council. Ọ̀rọ̀ Fẹlá wá ń jáde. Fẹlá wá ní UK, America, Germany, Canada, France wá veto ẹ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bàbá mi Waris Jinadu. Mo like bàbá yẹn because wọ́n ní veto we no gree, it is a human right. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi Jayéọlá. Grandma Awoniyi mo kí yín. Mo kí sister mi Elaine. Mo kí ìyá mi Comfort. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ sí lórí ètò àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Mo rí ọ̀rẹ́ mi dáadáa. Mo gbọ́ yọ sister mi Yèyé Dára. Kò ń ṣe live tó ṣe o. Àwọn short wọn tó máa ń ṣe. Christopher Inwase, Mr. Koiki, kudos to you. Keep moving. We all love what you are doing, brother. And I love you as well. Woto, airborne, December 2nd. Ẹ lè sọ pé kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Kọ́lọ́n kó ṣọ́ gbogbo wa. It's 6 months down the line. Tinubu negotiate. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró lórí veto yẹn. for a second. There's a pastor, I'll tell them if they can send me the clip so that I can lock it into my software and we can make use of it. Only that pastor said, and I called, I think it's a Yoruba pastor. The pastor said, negotiate now before it is too late. Negotiate. One, Mr. Lawal Abibni, please help us share. Salary increment is not the solution now. We need, no, let us even allow them to increase salary, because Nigeria hasn't broken yet and it is not yet dissolved. So people need to be paid properly. Did they pay 460,000 naira a month? Why not? If other things are going to be expensive a little bit, UK increased salary and the prices of goods in UK have been increased as well. So the pastor is saying to the government, there will be a time you will want to negotiate, but the people you want to negotiate with, they are not going to listen anymore. I'm going to ask the Biafra media to send me the clip so that I can have it. Mukiyami Bosse de Lamid, one name, God bless you more and the strength in Jesus' name. You might be wondering that, I just woke up and I have at least the strength for the next 2 hours. So let's come back to the veto. A veto is no vote that is a no vote that blocks a decision. The president can veto some bills that pass his desk. Let me put it this way. Can President Bola Tinubu veto to say Nigeria is no longer visibly working and it needs now to be dissolved? Do you think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can do it? Let's read from your comments. A veto is very official way of saying no. N-O. November Oscar. Salary increment and price hike. Definitely. Ismaila Oriyomi Sakwe, Mr. Koiki, Tinubu will not veto on that. How many people also agree with that? Mokele Nkansi Walata, Obeledu Maraban Wapelu Ekushe Takutaku. Ǹjẹ́ feel with Tinubu, the current president of the Fed, is the 16th, right? Tinubu is the 16th president. Simple Rahim Koiki is a clear no. My brother Ibukunluwa Olugunwa wanting no, he can't. Mr. Olawale Ayeni orúkọ ńlá ni. He dare not do it. I want to say he dare not do it. So we are saying that Tinubu cannot veto. Akim Ayodele, good evening, welcome to the program. Afolabi Kayode Sokwe, no, he cannot do it. So what are we expecting from Tinubu, Awamo Yoruba? I was listening to Baba Kitoye. Maybe I got it wrong because I was saying that there's about 10 days left. What I keep Baba Kitoye Sokwe 30 days, the end of June. So I'm going to have to call him tomorrow to clear that so that in tèmi náà bá ń sọ ó gbọ́dọ̀ line pẹ̀lú tí bàbá ń sọ. Bàbá mi ọmọ káàárọ̀ Friday David sọ pé Koiki Tinubu dared not to do such. Rashid Balogun, no, he didn't have the power to do it. No, he had the power. He's the president. Ìyá mi Oyèrónkẹ́ Ọláníyàn sọ pé he can't veto. So what we okay, let's reverse again. Let's put it this way. Can Tinubu veto the 1999 Constitution and say no more to this Constitution? We pull it down, we draft a new Constitution, and we include self-determination, plebiscite, those that wants to remain Nigeria. Rookie Giant no wà lórí program. Only Koiki, I'm here. He can't. Ó dà pé torí gbogbo yín ṣe Yorùbá nation lẹ́sìn sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìjálá ọmọ APC kankan lórí program, and I'm being fair and honest here now. If you're here, just identify yourself. What are we expecting from Tinubu or President Bola Tinubu? Just Tinubu is just like calling Rishi Sunak, but because Omoluabi Lawa, so we tend to add the value to it. Akinola sọ pé he can only veto a bill, but he can't issue an executive order. Àwọn kan ti gbá àwọn ìbò ńláńlá dé o. The problem one here, Mr. Deniak. So, okay, let's reverse it. I've been told that Koiki, you can't say Tinubu can veto something when he doesn't have the bill. But can the House of Representatives, the Senate in Abuja, can they issue a bill or bring up a bill to say that we are pulling down the 1999 Constitution and Tinubu will just... No, okay, motivated. What we are trying to say is we don't want him to veto, because that is the wrong word. Because veto is saying no. We want him to issue executive order. Thank you so much for that clarity. Because veto is saying no to something and we want something. So I think, we should be careful with the way we put it down. Let's reverse the conversation. Okay. Can he issue an executive order for the dissolution of Nigeria? Ẹ jẹ́ ká rephrase it. Okay. Olakunle no máa bá mi send the video pastor yẹn. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to that. Though mo wà lórí Instagram lórí Koikimedia, but I can always come out and come in of that. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ wọ́n mi wá sórí Olayomi Koiki Instagram is never disconnected. It is always permanent. But ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Koikimedia sometime, because that's my studio line. Silver Badmus, ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta, ó ti hustle lọ níbo ló lọ láti jọ. I haven't seen you on the program. We recognize a lot of you in the last 3 years. And I'm trying to catch as many of your... It's an interactive platform tonight. So what I should be saying is not Tinubu to veto, because that would be wrong. Because if he vetoes something, it doesn't favor us. It's literally saying no. So can President Bola Ahmed Tinubu issue an executive order to change the 1999 Constitution? Let's start with that. Yes or no? Does he have... Again, people are saying he can't. Why are we all saying he can't? He's the president. He has the power. Power tí Buhari náà lò nìyẹn for 8 years. Tinubu is meant to be well educated, at least than Buhari. Buhari is an animal. Oh no, I'm going back to my cows. I love my cows better than Nigerians. I'm asking again, do we think that President Babami Moses Olanirani, pomposity is the order of the day? Ibo lẹ ti rí àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá ẹ̀yin dáàdi wa yìí òyìnbó yìí pọ̀ jù fáwọn ọmọ kéékèèké. Wọ́n ní pomposity is the order of the day when it comes to these guys to veto or do something better. They are all happy on those 1999 Constitution because they are feeding on it. Hey, Silver Badmus ní iṣẹ́ ti sọmọ nù bí òkú brother mi. I remember when I first came to UK. You hardly see us at home. You only come home and sleep for 6 hours and you're out again. But Mom Simimani is Shelogushe. Why is it that President Bola Tinubu cannot issue executive order? Is it because it is 1 year into his administration? But already, Monsoro Yedara Lenko, I was listening to her as she was doing those short videos, and it was showing that my good friend, I haven't spoken to him. Only God knows now, probably. The last time I saw him was at the Nigerian High Commission. I was outside. He came and we had conversation. I call him Balogun Eko, but most of you don't call him Balogun Eko. He has another name that he's using. That Omo Karosakwe, it is impossible for President Bola Tinubu to issue an executive order. Mr. Folabi Sakwe, the house is already divided. Mr. Lawaleni, he cannot do it because he is answerable to the northern oligarchy. Why must Tinubu answerable to the northern oligarchy? Why? Kilode? Is he not using his own mind? Or probably is it because the North gave him the will to become the president, even though he used the leverage of the campaign of the Yoruba nation under Professor Adebanji Akintoye and Dr. Sunday Igboho and millions of us that believe that Nigeria is no longer workable? She, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, can issue executive order. Let's go and find the meaning of executive order. When we say something is executive order, kilo mean? And has it been used before? Let's look for the meaning. According to Google, and it's known as EOS, executive orders. Executive orders are official documents through which the President of the United States manages the operations of the federal government. The directive cited the President's authority under the Constitution and statute. Tinubu can use an executive order, but it seems that many Nigerians or Yoruba people at this particular hour disagree that it would not, because, like my brother Ayeni said, Tinubu president is answerable only to the northern part of Nigeria. My friend Balogun Eko, as I listen to Yeye Dara, and let me see if I can just pin a lórí Facebook Eli Malik, but the rest of those on the other side will be able to. Video yẹn jáde, and I think it should be this one. I think it's this one. I watch a lot of videos as well, just like Ben Oshimanwo video. I watch quite a lot, especially, as my own relaxation. I was mutik button. Now, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Facebook, ẹ má bínú, ní spare device. So, and I don't have another more spare phone. So I'm gonna láti manage ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní other platforms. Okay, Shegon OLAKUNLE, I'm gonna look at that. Eleni, why you look like Spike Lee? I don't know. Let's listen to Balogun Eko. Some of you call him a different name. I know him as Balogun Eko. He's not in support of the APC. He has the right to.
Ọlọ́run bá túbọ̀ wá fún yín ní ọgbọ́n, á fún yín ní òye àti agbára láti lè ṣẹ́gun orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Sáà, ṣáyí, èmi ò ní pa irọ́ fún yín o. Ní àwọn éríà kan, ìjọba ẹ̀mí ló kàn, ẹ̀ ń try. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má jẹ́ kí ìjọba ẹ̀mí ló kàn yìí. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ó kàn wá wọgbó, ẹ má yẹ kó kàn wá wọlé. Nítorí pé àwọn éríà méjì tó ṣe pàtàkì sí ẹ̀dá ìjọba yìí Ondo.
I want you to listen to this carefully. Ibukunluwa Olugun was up. If the Senate proposed a bill in that direction, so the Senate might not, but Yaka Bo Balogun Eko tó mú bọ̀.
Ó ní ẹ̀yìn wà, kò tiẹ̀ tí gbèrí rárá. Èmi ò fẹ́ fún yín ní F9 gẹ́gẹ́ bí scorecard tí ó wà ní ọwọ́ mi. Torí mo mọ̀ pé bí a ṣe ń bá lọ yìí, ìjọba yìí ti ọwọ́ bọ àwọn area méjèèjì tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó. Other areas ìjọba yìí try, ṣùgbọ́n ṣe rí ní orí economy àti orí security.
Hold on to that. Economy and security. These two goes passe. If you need to build an economy, you would definitely need security. Olakunle Balogun is just another politician who speaks the truth when the deed had been done. He speaks from both sides of his mouth. Let's listen again. So, he is now saying that the renewed hope with the ED that Tinubu brought to Nigerians and Yoruba people. How more time do you need to give President Tinubu before you realize that the renewed hope is dead on arrival? Is that too early to call? 1 year in office? He's doing his own assessment 1 year of the failed Egbekegbe APC, that we say that it is the same continuity of the failed evil monster Buhari, that Tinubu is also in continuity, and that is taking a lot of people backwards. Good evening, Peter Pan. So Balogun Eko is now saying to Tinubu that you failed from the two sides. G1 says if the South missed this opportunity, forget this country, Fulani will complete their agenda. The killing in Buhari government will be a child's play. And I totally agree with you, G1, whoever is behind that name. One of our mothers, I have the audio, said to me that when she was in UK, she's currently in Nigeria right now, in Nigeria Lawa, wọ́n ní nígbà táwọn ń gbé ní UK ní 1970 something òyìnbó kan obìnrin sọ fún àwọn pé there is a Fulanization agenda, but she did not understand what it was all about then. She was asking her husband, kí ni meaning Fulanization? This was as far back as 1970 when she was living here. Peter Pan said the more we keep Nigeria, it gives Fulani the more time to complete the agenda. Why then are some people saying that that agenda will never sustain? Let's go back to Balogun Eko, that is now saying that Tinubu's government failed the first year to secure the economy. Even though Wale Edun has been speaking on Channels Television with my good friend Shewan Kimbaloye, but we know that nothing is coming out of the failed economy of this APC. That is the continuity of Buhari. As Peter Pan said, the more we keep Nigeria, it gives the fuel for the Fulani to attack more and kill more. And if Tinubu complete his tenure, 4 years maximum, 8 years maximum, the Fulani takes the power, because power is not going to the southeast, whether we like it or not. The north will not allow such at this time. Even if we want to keep Nigeria, the northern agreement with Tinubu is that you complete yours, you return the power back. I am now asking that what can Tinubu do to stop Nigeria and allow the Nigeria to dissolve without the Senate and the House? Is it possible? Yes or no? Check Tinubu le bypass Senate at the House, the two criminal chambers, the red and the green, because they came, one is red, one is green. They are all criminals. They've made so much money, like somebody like Dino Malayi that never had any business since he grew up. He became a senator. He went and started making money from the money being paid. Up to 25 million naira they are paid every month, minus other dealings underneath. Toski Best Auto International Deco, not good afternoon, we are in good evening. To correct Are. Almost to 12, you say good afternoon. So what we are trying to say is that most of these politicians became rich when they become senators and house, because there's a huge amount of money right in it, especially when they are giving money for constituency project. We know what they do with it. It is diverted. And like I was saying to my mom, if you invest $5 million somewhere, you will make good returns, especially if it's not in the shit hole. Ṣé Tinubu lè bypass the House at the Senate and dissolve Nigeria? Oh, you love my dress. Let me stand up. If you need something like this, right, they can make it in any color and they can ship it to anywhere around the world. Let me know. You can see the length of it. It's quite, beautiful. And you can have it in any color. You can go to, I'll give you the IG handle where you can find all those, beautiful. Toski Bear said, good evening. I'm sorry. I am Ayola from Aja. Okay, she's gonna brother me. Tonight is more about education, which is the topic that we are treating. Remember what Baba Kitoye said. The good news, path to prosperity. Our number 3, week 3. The education is what we are treating. And let's go back and listen to Balogun Eko. Like I said, Lori, Facebook, Emma Binukwe, you can't hear it. Alan Conde is with me. It's already morning in China, heading towards afternoon. He lives down there, and we pray for him. We continue to pray for many of you living all over the world, including African countries, as Nigerians, and as those that are nationalists and those that are indigenous people. All hail Biafra. Kudos to those, and we hope Tinubu will free Nnamdi Kanu, even though the West and the Northerners does not want Nnamdi Kanu to be free. Unbelievable. And we have the military telling us that another 170 repentant Boko Haram have surrendered, even though I disagree with Tinubu. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. You can come and challenge me. Give me the proof that international community says IPOB is a criminal or terrorist organization. Baba Moses Olaroni, is it possible to have Yoruba nation written on the dress? because it is very nice. Oh yes, they can do such. They Yoruba Nation see. They can print it on it. If you're interested, let me know. It's just part of my marketing from my sister that is producing it. Let me pick on what I don't want to be touching my phone, so I gotta come down here, and I'm gonna come back to that video. And kudos to Yeyedara and all the medias. They know how to join all this video, including Yoruba Wuyi, Ashake TV, and many of them, as we are all working back to back. So I want to pick some of your comments. I think this one is coming from the backup channel. So let's come here quickly so that I can read some of the comment as well. I've been doing a lot of short videos. Afolabi said, the two houses is the problem of Nigerian. So you're talking about the House of Rep and also the House of Assembly, the green and the red chamber. Shout out to many of you, Grandma Felicia Jagbekale, Grandma Shalafia Lewama, Mokibubo and Grandma. Mr. Yeni said, Nigeria is a pot of soup for all the Nigerian politicians. So you don't expect them to pass that kind of bill. Wow. Lati Luaja said, Nigeria is a scam. Thank you so much, Peter Pan. Peter Pan is not just, a full-time paying us. He's also a contributor to this platform. I want to read more from Alan Conde. Alan Conde says, and I quote, a country that failed to have economy and security, that is a failed nation. And Balogun Eko is now saying that, President Tinubu, you have done well in some other areas. I don't know how he's justifying that, because if you don't have the good economy and the security, and don't come and tell us that Tinubu did not create the problem of the economy and the security. Tinubu allowed himself to use Buhari to destroy Yoruba land, to gbe Fulani jihadists into the Nigeria of today. I know the Biafra always say Tinubu is not a Yoruba man, he's from Gambia. But we will leave it as Tinubu is a Yoruba man from Iregbeji. We know that he has a lot of cobwebs and he has a lot of issues, but we will just leave it like that. But again, your comment is as yours own, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just the same way that IPOB believe that, Nnamdi Kanu said, and I quote, that Buhari is dead and has been buried somewhere in Saudi Arabia. All we have been saying is just a double body. I don't have the evidence, but I say Buhari is dead or alive. It doesn't make any difference to me. He's an evil monster. Tinubu is going into that same direction. He has not yet called terrorists. They're still using the word bandit. So Alan Conde says, and I quote again, if you do not have a good economy, a country that fails to have economy and security, that's not a country. It's not possible for Tinubu to do that, because criminal from the north and the satanic kingdom called Britain will not allow him. Why is Britain not going to give Tinubu the access for him to dissolve Nigeria? Shagboro Bashela or Britain. A lot of people say we don't have to take that from Britain. Some wants to use another route. But I don't want to go to that discussion, because I am here attacking anybody. But I just want to focus on Yoruba Nation. But for me, and I've said it, Britain will not allow Nigeria to break up. We would have to do what we have to do. And that is why Babaki Toye, as at afternoon, when he was having a conversation with us, and I'm going to try and play that video again, I need to get another smartphone, because when I'm not using the full software, I'm still always short of one phone. This one is on Twitter Space. This one is backup. This one is Koikimedia, and this one is Instagram. This one is Twitter, full Twitter. This one is Instagram, and sometimes we miss a little bit. But Lori Koikimedia, I'm gonna turn it off for a while, so that, because all on video continue to play, and I want everybody to listen to it, so you can still watch it. Simple Rahim, Iyami Awoniyi, Iyami Felicia Jagbe, about me move Losi. OLAYOMI KOIKI, so that we can use this phone temporarily. Biggest say, no one is a Nigerian. We are all doomed. I believe that, because Nigeria was created on our behalf for the selfish interest. Mr. Olabi Adam says Yoruba nation not going back. All hey Biafra, the Ijaw nation will come out. Nigeria will split to about 7 countries, if not a little bit more, like Soviet Union. Daniel Adeyemi says Yoruba nation not going back. Nigeria is a bitter country and a racial slur. So Interwalori Instagram, I'm gonna end this one now. Please bear with me. Thank you so much. So that I can balance the conversation here a little bit, because there are a few things I want to play, and I don't want everybody that are on the Facebook not to listen to it. So, OLAKUNLE, Mr. Koiki is one of my researcher. He has actually sent what I was expecting him. Show his studio number. Let's send us OLAKUNLE. It has to be the studio number. Though by send it, let's send it. Sorry, studio number, please. Because even might play, not the number. It has to be the one that tẹ máa ń ní tí jẹun ebi ń pa yín gbogbo kìíní yẹn. Èmi náà láwọn tó tí jẹun nílé mélòó la fi máa fún lówó tí jẹun. Ọlákúnlé bá ń send our sorry studio number, please. The studio number, I'm sure you know it. Plus any woman studio number plus 4474 04405 And if you want to add your voice into the discussion, the number to call with the code, it will be plus 44 74 0440 5917. You can also call in and add your own. Now let's go to Ejeka. Start with Balogun Eko again, because those on the Facebook could not listen to it earlier. So I'm gonna go now back to Yeyedara page and we listen to Balogun Eko. Advert in law. So,
Your Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Let's listen to it. That's his hymn there. So, I'm sure you all know Yeyedara. So let's just listen. Okay. Olakunle. Okay. 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 I want you to take note of some of the words. Nigeria. How is he going to do that? Time is ticking. The time is ticking. Babaki Toye again in the afternoon. We're gonna play the video in the next 3 minutes after this. Says that we have to create crisis for the international community to get involved in the discussion along the line with Yoruba Nation discussion. Oshegoni, I will do that after this video. Thanks so much, Olakunle, my brother. Let's listen further.
Nigeria, sir,
okay. 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 Again, ó tẹ̀ ti kàn wá wọnú ibi tí kò jẹ́ kó gbé wa lọ. So Tinubu did not start 1 year ago. It started 8 years ago by bringing the evil monster Buhari into our environment. Good evening, Mr. Theophilus Akitude. Tinubu ló lọ gbé Buhari wá because wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Jonathan ṣe mọ́. They cooked the story, brought in the evil monster. The evil monster, and eventually allowed Buhari to massacre. Millions of people have died because Buhari opened up. Enter our Instagram 1 hour. We'll come back in just about a few seconds. Tinubu created the monster. That imagine a father went in and brought in something to bang on me. òun lọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu. Tinubu lọ gbé in tó ń pa wá wá, because Tinubu did not said nothing when Buhari opened up the the borders for the jihadis to get into that contraction and kill millions of people. And as of today, many Nigerians are now having the expectation that Tinubu will stop the monster that is already in the country. And when I mean the monster, I am not talking about terrorism alone. I am talking about your economy, your welfare, your education, many things. Daniel Adeyemini, Buhari is wearing face mask with silicone ears. Like I said, I will not doubt that, because I, as somebody that I live there, if I tell you that there's no double body, is a lie. So if Buhari is finally dead or he died while he was in office, there's probability that they created somebody that looks like him with a silicone mask. Let's go back again and listen. So, 2 areas he's talking about. Pé ìjọba Tinubu, area méjì kan wà that your government failed completely. What are those areas? Security and the economy. And we have the data. Let me quickly give us the data as we have made use of it, in the last couple of days. I'm talking about at least the closest data that we have today when it comes to this failed APC Egbekegbe that has destroyed more of the Yoruba people's life, that has taken us backwards, that has got nothing to offer than pain, and many diasporas still support this nonsense. Arole Oduduwa Mbole lo láti joy, eti fashe lo, shalafia lewa, family nko. So Tinubu came in after Buhari brought in petrol up to 238. Tinubu decided that is not more than enough. Oshe Simple Ryan, you joined the other platform. Thank you so much. So petrol that was sold nígbà tí Buhari wà lórí oyè at 238. Tinubu say òun máa kàn yín pa. Ṣé sọ pé mi ló kàn? No, èmi máa kàn yín pa. And he lied, because Tinubu told us in one of his captured video during the campaign that he will make sure he does everything. Again, look at the cow eating people's farm. Can you live in a country like this? Because this is security problem. Somebody's farm, or Jumalu Sibe, not 1 cow, not 10 cows, and they destroy the whole farm. If you go out there now and do anything, they'll attack you, they kill you. Did you see it? Yàtọ̀ sí ti àwọn kan tó ń bá màlúù sùn. So let's go and listen to President Bola Tinubu during his campaign. He said a couple of things. Let's listen to this.
Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá. Ẹ̀fọ́ kan balẹ̀ àgbàgbé wálẹ̀.
He lied. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ epo pé á di 200. When you came to power, the petrol Muki Babawa Sheikh Imam Nasir, Assalamu alaikum. Brother mi Bukola Olugun was like, the only way there could be a new direction is if there could be a synergy between the Biafra and the Oduduwa can organize a kind of a civil disobedience in a coordinated and united manner. That will be very difficult because many Yoruba people are very skeptical and very Biafra are also skeptical. But you are right, I would accept such. But Babakitoye said, and we're going to come to that in a minute because there's still ample of time and I'm not yet tired, that we must have crisis in Nigeria for us to push. Moki Baba Milen kan se Sheikh Imam, Moki Baba Imam Offer, Moki Baba Baba Nlanla, the Modeki Imam wa Baba wa Imam le Yoruba nílùú Ìlọrin, Moki Baba Gegeju. So Tinubu lied. A silver badmus is laughing. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lied. Mokiyami Toyin sick. He lied to tell us that when it comes to power, he would make sure that your petrol will be dropped drastically. Some of you might say that, but the subsidy, they are still paying for subsidy. That is what some of you don't understand. Tinubu's going to your subsidy, but it is a lie. Subsidy is still being paid to the criminal cabals that support Tinubu and the rest of them. Let's listen one more time to Tinubu here. And that is the tone that you love so much. Wasiu, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀. But at some point, Tinubu also came out and said this. Kí ni Tinubu sọ?
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship.
No, you don't understand. The hardship is biting a lot of people. Some have now taken advantage of it, setting up charity, extorting money from the diaspora, and probably it is not working. Your government could not give food because the food inflation jumped from 24.82% to 40.54%. That is double. So when you are here telling us that, oh, it's 3 minutes past 12 midnight, we are now on the Ijo Kefa, Oshu Kefa, Odun 2024, 666. 3 minutes past 12 midnight. Koikimedia Live, the late night conversation, as we continue to use our platform to educate and speak the truth. We are not here, to knock off President Bola Tinubu, but we told him that the country that he wants to rescue, Tinubu will rescue Nigeria. He cannot rescue Nigeria because Nigeria is dead. Mr. Adeyemi sọ pé, why is Tinubu dancing buga? Waris Jinoduma Egbon sọ pé, be bad, twist and turn around. Silver bad money, I understand, but there isn't hope. Olórí burúkú ni irọ́ gbogbo wọn. Politicians are liars. They are deceit, most especially the African ones. And if you believe them on your own. Let's listen again.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not.
This is not a dotted video. Tinubu said that he wished that there was other way, but there is not. Food inflation is gone to 40%. The dollar is now about 1,500. The pound sterling as at yesterday was 1,900 up to 1 naira, up to 1 pound. So if I've sent 10 pounds home, that gives somebody 19,000 naira. It is as useless as anything because bottled water is about 1,500, if not 1,002. The average Nigerians can no longer have 3 square meals. And you know why the food security is happening? Because Tinubu refused to stop this monster that Buhari brought in. This is somebody's farm being attacked by the cow that is meant to be somebody's personal business. Now, let's go back one more step again and listen to Balogun Eko before we move further. Did you hear that? Ebi o le ma pa wa, katumasa asala femiwa. So as some of us are going out to find intamaje, Olondeje kamari intamaje on a daily basis. Whether somebody will support you with 2,000 naira, whether you will support yourself and your family, whether you are being employed, whether you are losing job because companies are closing down. And don't tell me they're not closing down. They are closing down. Small scale businesses have folded up and they have collapsed. Even the diaspora that are investing, some are still investing, but majority can no longer do it. But those that are doing it, trust me, most of them are into many shady businesses, especially most of them are into drugs. Moki brother mi Moreni Keji Olusholani, Nigeria has been divided already. It's just wait and see what will happen. Moki Baba mi Babatunde Owosheye, any job well done, White Lion. They have enslaved the majority of Nigerian, but the fools would never realize that that will still continue to sing their praises. Many Nigerians will kill you because of 1,000 naira to support the criminal politicians that have stolen what belongs to them. They will kill you. I am not joking. They will take you out just because of 1,000 naira. I am not making this up. Very beautiful name. Our Yoruba, we are very intelligent people. We are strong people. But Nigeria has destroyed the quality of who we are. Nigeria has taken the best of us, especially without giving us quality education. And if you don't have the good quality education, I am not talking about to qualify to become, a pilot, but at least to be able to train your generation in another sector that is away from being a pilot. Now, I have a video that I was expecting that I've received from our researcher. Nyakoni Koiki, I have sent you a payment of £5. All the details in this receipt, the last man standing, that is for your coffee. Thank you so much. I don't know whether he's listening, but it says Koiki, $2 to fira coffee. This is the video that I'm looking for. Negotiate. They are telling the government, not literally Tinubu's government alone. This video is not a new video. Negotiate now before it is too late. Nobody pray for war. Don't tell me say Koiki no, the terrorists are the one making the war. The economy war, security war, many war that is going on today in Nigeria. I am not the one making it up. Babakito is not the one, not Oloyegbowo. The video is almost finishing loading. Negotiate now before it is too late. It is 2 minutes 19 seconds. I will allow the whole video to play in case you've never listened to it before.
Dialogue now.
Oh, it is dialogue I was meant to be saying, not negotiate. Listen to this, please.
I repeat it again. I'm not an evil man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of God, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullets, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm saying in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear
hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because it's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody's throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out and there is peace in the land.
We don't have to believe the men of God because we know a lot of them are not true men of God. But there are still men of God and men of God and men and women of God out there in all the religion in the current world and Nigeria and Africa, whether from the tradition by Ifa that tells us what is coming. Ifa speaks in parables, or the Christians that are saying what God does not, or the Islam that says that there is something that they can see, especially many people have seen what we are just saying. I was sharing because I was also sleeping, just like a lot of you. I didn't see it the way I am seeing it now some 15 years ago. We're just Nigerians. There are too many problems. We didn't know the real reason of the problem. You know that 15 years ago, we did not even foresee what we are seeing now, that the major problem was British, of the fraudulent amalgamation. We were always thinking, oh, it's about the coup, the Angurozi coup. Oh, no, the genesis of the problem started way far behind. What God cannot do does not exist. Eshigoni. Uhalori no ni. Eruti poju ta ngbe. Bí ṣe bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí, somebody is still pleading for money. Ó wà lórí fóònù mi báyìí. Lálẹ́, àwọn ò tí ì jẹun. Tell President Bola Tinubu to dialogue. Look, America is still dialoguing with Iran. America returned billions of dollars of Iran lately, if not millions. Some even say that it was after they returned that money that Iran had power to send drones to Israel. And America negotiated or dialogue to get 5 people, and they paid millions of dollars. I can't remember the figure, but we can check it out on Google, but it's not necessary. So Iteman said, no, Koiki, they will crush you. You are Igbowo. I am not praying for any crisis, but crisis would happen. Let's see if we can get Babakitoye as he spoke. We've listened to Balogun a little bit. Let's just move away from him. He says, and I quote, that Tinubu is a weaker element and we shouldn't expect anything much from him. Olakunle, 15 years ago, I was still claiming a Nigerian and I didn't know it doesn't exist. I'm sure many of you are the same. Some saw it long time ago, but majority of us, we were just saying we're Nigerians, we love the football, we love this, we love that. But the major obstacle that we know today, we cannot now say we are still Nigerians, even though Nigeria is still existing, but we pray as quickly as possible for it to dissolve. Let's listen to Babakitoye a little bit as he spoke just yesterday and this. And don't say that this man repeats sometimes itself and da. No. Babakitoye is an historian. And if you don't know your history, you are a dead person. And if you go back to what we did last week, it's got to do, and I think the beginning was the one that it's got to do with our history. We started on the history of the Yoruba people. So the history is what we started with, and then it took us to, we are a nation with proud roots and a proud history. So you can see that Babakitoye started well with this book, and the copy is on my website, The PDF has been shared multiple times. If you need a copy, let me know. I will share it with you. It's 95 page. It may call printed that day, but it's in PDF, and you can also have it in Microsoft Word. I have it on my laptop. So we are dealing with the number 3 up to Sunday before we move to the next one the following week. I don't know how long it will take us to cover it up, but I don't want to rush it, because if I rush it, konini understanding, konini meaning. So talking about the education, you can see that it's fitting a lot of the discussion that we started since Monday. But we started on we are a nation with a proud root and a proud history. So let's listen to Baba Akintoye, as a lot of questions was asked, but he started with this.
Many of them, they now are in danger from the Persian Empire. I want to disagree. I want to quick Baba ń ṣe lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan bá ṣe jẹ ayé wa tẹ́lẹ̀. Àwọn Persians are over on the country wa. Àádẹ́gbẹ̀rú wọn. So wọ́n wá ṣe pàdé. Wọ́n wá ní ókè àyàn ìkan lára wa. Gbogbo àwa yòókù àwa sọ̀pọ̀tì ẹ̀. Gbogbo nǹkan tá a ní àfi sọ̀pọ̀tì ẹ̀. Owó ọkọ̀ ojú omi nǹkan ìjà and so on àfi sọ̀pọ̀tì ẹ̀. And they did it like that, and it worked. And they were able to drive the Persians back. Mo máa ń sọ́nà lẹ́nu gọ́mẹ̀ntì tó dàbí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ náà sí Ọ̀yọ́ wa, Ọ̀yọ́ ilé. Ọ̀yọ́ ilé was not the only kingdom in the Ọ̀yọ́ part of Yorùbá land. Bí ẹ̀wọ̀n ìṣe ní kingdom tí wọ́n táwọn Ìjẹ̀bú ní kingdom tí wọ́n náà làwọn Ọ̀yọ́ náà ní kingdom tí wọ́n, àwọn Ìgbómìnà ní kingdom oríṣiríṣi tí wọ́n. So not your country was in the borders with the Nupe and the Bariba. And the two of them are your country, not everyone, all the kingdom. On one occasion, a Nupe and exhausted for those days, and the other had to flee the city. And it took years before he could come back.
Moki Baba Yawa Alaja Ayinke Mora Dayo and the rest of you that have joined us. This is Professor that spoke yesterday. This is a video yesterday. You know, we just want to crap a little bit, but I'm going to fast forward a little bit to go to where the Q&A started.
wo àwọn ọba níṣẹ́ láti ṣe láti support àwọn arábì làwọn ọba yòókù dẹ̀bẹ̀ sí join ẹ̀ náà ló lọ join ẹ̀ àti ìdéjì tí wọ́n lọ tán but already we have seen wípé tọ́tàn bá kó pọ̀ dáadáa tán bá jáde síta ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ní ṣáájú quickly.
I appreciate those of you on the Twitter space, Yoruba Nation Now, and many of our Biafrans and the rest of you. Thank you so much. We are still pushing and we are listening to Professor Adebanji Akitoye, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination, during his town hall conversation. He's not a ghost like the other one, that woman. He is giving us the background for the benefit of those of you that don't understand the Yoruba. I've doubted how our kings, our obas in Yoruba land, some of them have now stood out. We've seen their videos. They are talking very hard and they are saying that there will be piling letters together with petition and taking it to the United Nations, because the United Nations believe that they are there more than the politicians that are only there for maximum 8 years, and they are ready to listen to them. So they are collating their signatures, not one Oba, and we're not talking about just third class, we're talking about up to first class Obas. All these, Baba Akitoye says, because of the hard work and the push and our consistent to tell them that we, their children, are going through economic crisis of Nigeria, the insecurity and multiple challenges facing us in the contraction known as Nigeria. Alaja Ayinke says, and I quote, "Thank God for Professor Adebanji Akitoye." Once again, it is just 23 minutes past midnight. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and you are watching a live transmission of the Yoruba people that are now saying our life is in danger as we continue to live inside what is known as Nigeria. We own the territory, but the name needs to go away. But the world doesn't want the name to go away because it still benefits them. But when they talk about, there's the most populous black nation, ask yourself, which part of it are you enjoying? Because as a Nigerian, we saw the Yoruba man that traveled to Cairo and he was disrespected, a PhD holder. It is time that Yoruba people wake up from their dreams. Nigeria is an illusion. It was not created apart from a trade between the British and those that kept inside what is known as Nigeria after the fraudulent 1914 amalgamation. A video was sent to me by one of our followers, because I cannot see everything happening around the world all the time. It was a video that I've shared out on Instagram. Most of you have seen it. That showed us how the weapons were used to destroy us during the 1914 amalgamation. Those weapons were coming from UK in terms of a particular place called Woolwich Arsenal. So if you're living in that area, those areas supply the weapons that the British were using to fight, both not just in that empire as at the time, across different empires, but not 1914. All the weapons that were sent from the Woolwich Arsenal were sent into the southern and the northern and the eastern region to defend and protect the interest of the British trade route known as the amalgamation. Dr. Frank Ojiba says, "You Yoruba and Igbo people coalition Bikono Mekuna form another alliance to keep this country together. Another group of Yoruba say Igbos must leave Lagos, while another of the Zingens," I don't know what you're saying there. I think what you're trying to say is that you and Yoruba people coalition Bikono Mekuna form another alliance to keep this country. We're not keeping the country together. Some want the country to be kept together. Dr. Frank Ojiba, you have your right to your own comment. There will never be peace and unity among us. Those that want to keep Nigeria together will not find that peace. The country will be destroyed at some point. If care is not taken, there will be blood all over the place. That is what we are trying to avoid. The fight did not start today. The British knew that we will not be one. So let's go back and listen more to our father, the leader of the self-determination.
Because among our traditional rulers of our land, if they can say they support their boys and girls, their subjects, who are running around striving for self-determination of the Yoruba nation and the defense of the Yoruba nation against Fulani aggression, if they can come out and say that, then we have traveled a long way in our struggle. So that is happening now, and we thank God that it is happening. So those are the things that I need to report to you. We are on our way. And one question that our people often ask me, especially the younger ones.
I want us to listen to this. When are we going to get our nation? Before Baba goes forward in this answer to that major question, Moki our Dorcas Kasim, Moki Bugwamala Salatu, all the Christian brothers and sisters all over the world, from whether you are Yoruba or not. Nigeria is coming to its final straw. It will collapse. Your prayer cannot hold it anymore. The center is crumbling. We will use this platform and many other Yoruba platforms to bring everything you need to know that why Yoruba people should have no more business to do with what the British created. That is what we're going to continue to do. If you like, call God in whatever ramification. God will no longer listen to you. The pleas of the Yoruba people, the plea of the Biafra, the Arewa, the Ijaws have reached that same God that will now have to listen to us as against to you, especially with all your geos and all your affairs and your imam that have deceived that Nigeria is a country. When Nigeria was created by the English Empire known as Britain, were they calling God? They never called God. They never involved Islam. They never involved our tradition. Only God knows what kind of evil was put together to create Nigeria in the first place, because they have their own gods. They have their own tradition. So today, we've done more, but we are still going to do a lot until the collapse of what is called the last British Empire. Yes, I know where Louis Chastner is. It's in London Dock. I'll try and play that video in a minute. That person sent it to me 1914 in Britain, as they were using every resources to be shipped to that empire that they thought their own. Shako Mukia. This is what you need to know. British was using Nigeria as a trade for their own purpose, not for myself and you. And don't come and tell me to defend Nigeria. We are not Nigerians. Nigeria doesn't have any place in the history of the Yoruba people that have been in existence for thousands of years. And if you still want Nigeria, I hope Nigeria does not take you out. Let's go back and listen to Baba Akintoye as he was explaining the questions in the millions of minds of many of us, including me. Baba, níjọ́ la máa gba country wa. Níjọ́ wo ni country yẹn máa dé gangan? United Nations does not give country. Simple rhyme say, now I believe Lugard and his masters use voodoo. Yes. Kò ń ṣojú lásán. Ṣẹ̀rẹ́ yìí tẹ́ máa ń sọ pé, kò ń ṣojú lásán. The creation of Nigeria was not just by guns and weapons and arsenal that they were using. They were also using a lot of marabouts. Then after all that, we were told we got independent and they gave Fulani to control us. And you will be here saying I'm a doctor. I got master degree. And the people will not get Shingbai, like Buhari, Babangida, Gowon, control every single one of us and force us to stay underneath them. They're not comfortable with Tinubu, even we know that Tinubu is a weaker element. They cannot just wait. Shetima cannot wait for Tinubu to complete his tenure so that they can push him out. That is why he's a sleepy man behind the camera. You will see the repeat when I post it later on the YouTube that many of you will watch, because I am using the mobile phone, but on the laptop I have Tinubu sleeping behind me, a weaker element. You think that they want you to be free. I live with them. So I wonder, some of you that were in Nigeria, how you think that, what I'm saying, is nonsense. I live with them. I've lived with them for 24 years. And I am proud to say what I'm saying on a daily basis. And they can't do anything about it because it's a fact. Evidence is there. The creation of Nigeria all started from here. They didn't just create Nigeria. Some of you should be ashamed that your forefathers were moved as slaves and you still want to keep that same branding and you expect to be treated well. Well, I don't blame those of you in diaspora. You've been able to get your blue British passport, wicked individual, your American passport, evil people, the Canadian passport, the French passport. What about millions of Nigerians that doesn't have access to that same passport? A brother of mine just traveled to Nigeria just about this weekend. I won't give you exact weekend that it is, either Saturday or Sunday. He called me, Mr. Koiki. You won't believe it. Just like everyday calls, different purpose, different problems. Monikilo Shele. Because he already told me we're traveling to Nigeria. He didn't realize that he needed a Shanghai visa to enter KLM. He bought that visa, he bought the ticket. This is also for, I told you that this is a platform that you got to listen to and learn. As I focus on Yoruba Nation, I tell you other things that will be of benefit to you, especially in UK. I know a lot of you are working back to back, but sometimes Egbo Joku Egbo program midele, because I don't talk about any other jack shit. I focus only on what I have been told to talk about, which is Yoruba Nation. He bought a ticket because many people don't know that if you're traveling, and I want you to take note of this, they ban travel Latin UK, turn a British passport, and you want to go through KLM, and you think that you just buy that ticket, you will waste that money. If you get a refund, you'll be lucky. If you have a Shanghai visa, you will be lucky, then there's no problem. Even though most of us are not entering to France, but what France have done now is that if you do not hold a passport at UK, America, you are still carrying the Nigerian passport like most of us, including myself, you would then have to have a Shanghai visa on that passport to enter KLM to travel to Nigeria. This brother got to the airport with his luggage, thinking that he was flying out to Nigeria on the KLM. Is it KLM or Air France? I think it's Air France. Not KLM, Air France. I think it's Air France. It was when he got to the airport he realized that he needed a visa. He was trying to explain to them that, oh, lost in France. I am not going to France. I am going to Nigeria. Yes, there will be stopover, but I am not going to come out. They said no. He ended up buying Air Rwanda. It's currently in Nigeria right now as I speak to you. It's just for those of you. The man said, gain Lara Koikimedia. You will gain something no matter how small. Let's go back and now finally get the answer from the leader of the Yoruba Nation. How and why is it that I take back country? What is holding it? What is delaying the Yoruba Nation? What is going to happen for Yoruba Nation to pop up? United Nations will never give you a country. But when there is crisis, they will get involved. America will not give you a country. But when there is crisis, they will get involved. Don't expect Fox, NBC, CNN to talk about Yoruba Nation now. But when there is crisis, it will come up as a free advert for every one of us, including the New York Times. That is why that pastor, and I'm going to play that one more time before I go to the answer of Baba Kitoye. This is what he said again.
Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an evil man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. War. I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of God, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullets, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullets and bomb. If you know what I'm saying in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because it's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you're asking, when the king...
Me, I pray that they don't dialogue. I will come down, like I said to you. I only need one bag to fly down with as a journalist. Journalists go into Mokiyami Ireti Ibisua Mori Lawson, but Osonye, Sheripe program Osonye, it get as a be. I couldn't even shout out to many of you, but when we are doing another program like this, it's more relaxed. We appreciate you all and we love you all. Shout out to Akambi on Twitter Space. Shout out to Brass Rhyme. Shout out to Yoruba Nation Now. We are just about 15 minutes. This program will not be more than 2 hours. So we're 1 hour 43 minutes. So in 15 minutes, we will end this program. Simon, Ekpa, Gladys, shout out to you, my Biafra brothers and sisters. And I've also followed you as well. Shout out to Obun Nigwe. Like I always say, I am not the spokesperson for the Biafra, but you will not defeat Biafra this time around. Biafra, they are ready to sacrifice. I don't want to say their blood, because it is going to be the blood of the evil Musa, the Fulani terrorist military, that you think will win them. British could not win the IRA. I am not speaking on behalf of Simon Ekpa. I might have other areas that I don't support them with, but on the self-determination, you will not defeat Biafra. I can tell you that. Tinubu dialogue. Don't let the Fulani oligarch and the West to push you. It will be bloody. I will be on the ground as a journalist. Journalists fly into the war zone. It is part of what we are trying to do. So if you think that Koiki will be here in UK, when it happens, I will be on the first flight back to support with my reporting, and I will survive it. Nobody wants war. That is why you dialogue. America still dialogue with whatever you call the name of the North Korea, whether you call him a monster or not. He has a nuclear warhead that can hit America at the press of a button. America would rather not allow him to press it. That is why they have to dialogue. Iran and America are enemies as far back as 1979 after the Islamic Revolution. That is why America cut them off. They are still dialoguing. It is the best solution. But if you say that you care less, let the military that cannot defeat the Boko Haram that they created, and the ISWAP and the ISIS and many other Islamic jihadis. The last part of the video of Babakito will be played, I can tell you before we go. It will mean that you can listen to me. Tell those that are politicians in the southeast to push for Tinubu to negotiate. While on our own end, this is going to be how Yoruba Nation might happen. Let's listen to our father, Professor Banji Akitoye. Let's leave that factor alone and let's come to Professor final part.
But it is not possible to say that. All I can say is that the indices are good. One, we are getting support abroad. We are getting support abroad, diplomatic support abroad. I can say that confidently. More confidently today than I could have said it a month ago. It's getting better and better. Why people are beginning to recognize that these Yoruba people, they are serious. The Yoruba people are serious, and they are decent folks. They say their struggle is going to be peaceful, and they keep it peaceful. And they are intellectually strong people. You listen to them, plead their cause, and you know that these people are serious. A government once sent one of their highest officials.
Let me say shout out to, I won't mention his name so that you don't have to go and be looking for him. He's one of my Axoba. We went to the same school, Abekota Grammar School. Aside to you, Axoba, thank you so much. I left the group because I did not agree and they did not agree with me. Some of them thought I was working for PDP. 3 years I exited that group. I still have good relationship with many of them. I'm sure some of them now are probably saying, maybe Koiki was right. Yoruba people are better off to have their own country. I exited my own WhatsApp student union group because I did not agree with them. I stopped talking to my half-brother more than 4 years on this Yoruba Nation. I am not joking with it. I care less about anybody. Obakomi, we haven't spoken. We lived together in this country. For 4 years, I refused to speak to him. Tomobani British passport. I knew and I know how he got his passport because I welcomed him into this country when he came in here some few years back. But he's more concerned about himself. But he's more worried about me coming out on the social media and pushing my father's name as if I'm committing a crime. I haven't spoken to him. Emi àti Obakomi sọ̀rọ̀ for the last 4 years. So mo fi ẹrọ pé mo ń ṣeré pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Nígbà tí mo bá Obakomi sọ̀rọ̀, what concern me pẹ̀lú àwọn tájọ lọ sí school. Mo mọ̀ wọ́n rí tẹ́lẹ̀ ni. And that is what I say to many of you. And that is why I don't trust anybody apart from my wife, my children, and my mom, and Igbowo and Babakitoye. Èmi ni last man standing. I will educate you. My mom has pleaded with me not to curse anymore, but he hasn't told me about politicians not to be called. Olórí burúkú ni gbogbo wọn. Pátá àtòkè délẹ̀. Kò sí tí mo mọ̀ nínú wọn. They run away from me ever since we started Yoruba Nation. Ìbéèlè lásẹ̀sì wọn. You think that if I wanted to have a conversation with any one of them, at the press of a button, I know who to call. Because I was involved in the Nigerian community for more than 10 years. Back to back, right inside the Nigerian High Commission in London. Let's listen to Baba Kitoye because we are just 11 minutes to the end of the program. Shout out to all the Agzoba, Banki Bambodada, Enyanwa, president of Agzoba 995. And like I said in the afternoon, he can also testify. As Abeokuta Grammar School, there was not a basic toilet for 5 years that I studied there. A man shot putuni. Ìlú Òfò.
Highest officials to me to say, okay, Professor Kitoye, we want you to answer us. Why is Nigeria no longer good enough for the Yoruba people?
Listen.
No, first of all, why is Yoruba nation state? Why is Nigeria no longer good enough for the Yoruba people to say? I was very happy that such a high official of that government came to ask me. And I sat down and wrote one of the best things I've ever written in my life. And when they saw it, they said, wow, there is no answer. There is no way to contradict what these people are saying. There is no way. And so they concluded that, well, we are dealing with an especially gifted, intellectually gifted people. And we have better listen to them and help them if we can. So it is coming. By the grace of God. The fact that we have said it, okay, it is going to be a peaceful struggle. And we have kept it so. It's impressing the world. It's impressing the world a whole lot. And we must keep it so. So, the road to the Yoruba nation, the road to the Yoruba nation, the road to our new country is getting wider and wider, cleaner and cleaner, day by day. There is a big question, of course. We have a Yoruba man as president of Nigeria. How do we handle that? Well, he's a Yoruba man. He's also president of Nigeria. And we are not going to be antagonizing him and joining in any negative criticism of him. But we will continue to press forward with our demand for self-determination. And in the light of that, we have written a very, very good letter to him. Somebody very important read our letter today, and he said, wow, this is an unbelievably good letter. Yes, it is a very good letter. We sat down and crafted it slowly and surely, and we would produce the best letter that we could have produced. We are writing to the president of Nigeria. We don't particularly look at where he comes from. He is president of Nigeria. We are presenting before him the conditions that make us want to leave Nigeria. And whether he's Yoruba or Igbo or whatever is immaterial in the matter, we are suffering terribly in Nigeria. Our country is breaking up. Àwọn ọmọ kan sọ pé the Yoruba boys and girls who are educated who have fled Nigeria, fled their own Yoruba homeland in the past 2 decades, now it's about 11 million. Some people are saying it is even more than 11 million. Because in countries like the United States, Canada, Britain, and so on, we have large numbers of Yoruba men and women, educated men and women. And in America, there are probably over 5 million. So, the number of 11 million will be an understatement. What does that mean? What does that mean? 11 million educated young people live in a nation. First, the nation is losing its dynamic force. It is the educated generation nation is losing its dynamism and its capability to move forward. That's one thing. The second thing is that the Yoruba nation is gradually breaking up. Because there are Yoruba people now in every country in the world. In the most countries like Papua New Guinea, in the southern Indian Ocean, or island of Tonga, in the deep recesses of the Pacific Ocean, or Nepal, on the side of the Himalayas. Okay. So in the Yoruba, all the best are there, educated, university graduates. I'm more doing it. They now say, I feel Japa, and Japa. I ask them, what's the meaning of Japa? Where did you get it from? Nobody knows. They don't know. But it has become popular among them. But I want to take some time to tell them what Japa means. It's a horrible word. Yes, it is a horrible word. But tonight, I'm not telling them. I want to create a special program during which I will instruct, I will tell the Yoruba people what Japa means in our court, in Yoruba court. My prayer is that our mother will be Japa more.
Well, we will have to continue with the professor discussion tomorrow, God willing, inshallah, when I come out. When I don't give a date, I don't give a time. Keep that notification. If you have not gotten my notification, it is called shadow banning. I am not the only one that the social media are dealing with. Not Africans alone, even those that are non-Africans, especially if you're speaking the truth, like myself and millions of people that are activists. And we have people that are activists that are doing very well, like Harrison, the young man that is pushing, for justice for the two young girls. Probably whatever you think about them, they've gone out to have fun doesn't mean they have to be killed, and their kidney been taken away by the man that has now been killed himself because they don't want you to know people that are behind it. Organ harvesting. You've seen the story. Harrison Gwawa, or whatever his name is. And he has also set up a GoFundMe. Please support him if you can. Just like I asked you to support me. I am an activist and a journalist to the core. This is just my calling. I love it. I'm happy with it, and I'm running with it on a daily basis. And I do take a lot of rest, and like I said, I do eat. As we leave you again tonight, millions of Yoruba people are sleeping in darkness. Some have the money to pay for the service, but it's just not there. It is a deliberate act. If anything happened in our remote areas as I speak to you at the early hours of this morning, there is nobody to call. Yes, in Lagos, you might call the RRLs, you might call police, they will come out. But what about those that are not living in Lagos? Who are they going to call in those remote areas? That is complete darkness. I know some of us are very comfortable within the little that we have. But let's take a look at the bigger picture. That is what we are looking at. I pray that they will not kill Tinubu because intelligence says that they want to take him out. They will not succeed. I might disagree with him, because if Tinubu by Shetima, the evil terrorist guy, will take over, and that will be a disaster. It's better for me to be seeing Tinubu until we know how the whole thing will crumble. If Tinubu completes his tenure and nothing seems to have happened, and power goes back to the north, there will be bigger civil war. Tinubu can still do what he needs to do. It's entirely up to him. And as the seconds is going on Instagram, let me quickly say, Iṣẹ́ wa fún ilẹ̀ wa, forí ilẹ̀ ibi wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga faleri, ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bàtìbẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá, ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira. kẹjẹ ká máa lépa ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtohun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. And we state it clearly. Donate to good journalism. Many independent media like ours depend on you so that we can continue to do what we are doing on a daily basis. You can do it through the Naira account 30 96 80 88 48 First Bank with my full name OLAYOMI Koiki. Or you can do it through the Koikimedia UK account or the PayPal. If you need a Zelle, you can ask for it. And if you don't have anything to support with, just remember me in your prayers, because the attacks are coming in on a daily basis. But the gods of the Yoruba land, the Jesus Christ of our time, the Muhammad, are stopping them from attacking us. Like I said, most things we are holding on to it because we don't want to use that to distract and scare you. But they're coming with a lot of attacks on us, especially platforms that have dedicated their life to make sure that the Yoruba people are free. Ntí mo nǹkan sọ ni pé tó o bá lówó tó fẹ́ fún wa, ẹ máa fi àdúrà ràn mí lọ́wọ́ àti ìdílé mi, so that kí gbogbo ibi tó bá ń ṣe kó padà sórí wọn. Ibi tó bá dẹ̀ ń ṣe sórí ìran Yorùbá, Elédùmarè máa tú wa. Thank you so much, Mr. Fab. And we state clearly, I am not asking for Yoruba Nation money. When you say Yoruba Nation money, that is the YSDM that you should be paying into. But when I say for Koikimedia, it is for me, and I can use it for whatever I want to use it for. The attacks are coming, but my wives are not sleeping. They are walking around the clock to shield us from the evil. My mom is not sleeping, and I'm doing whatever I can do to make sure that my father, that has been dead long time ago, continue to stay awake with multiple Sahara to send to him. Gbogbo ṣàlẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní kúrò lẹ́yìn wa. Not just me, to all the medias that are working back to back. Ohun yẹn ẹ̀ ní mú agbára Jésù Kristi. I am your last man standing. Thank you so much. Bye for now.